Iy'ELU, the sovereign Odd, cleansed 10 foreigners who were lepers. Luke chapter 17 verses 11, And it came to pass, as the Holy One went to Italy, that Iy'ELU visit the city of Rome, which was before times was known as the city of Elu'hymn. Then after leaving there, then Holy left there for the country of Syria, and this was when returned to the ship. Then went on board, and his disciples sailed on, and then sailed unto the country of Syria. And they sailed past the city of Elu'hymn. And then Iy'ELU and his disciples them they sailed through the midst of the Sea of Galilee. And then and his disciples them they came to the country of Syria. And then they went with Iy'ELU into the city of Samaria. And then as he was entering into a certain village on the outskirts of the city of Samaria, that it was when he met 10 men who were lepers, and who were all outcasts, and who were all standing on the outskirts of the city limits, and outside of the city gates of Samaria. And they were all from a far off country, and they were all outsiders, and they weren't from the country of Syria, neither were they from the city of Samaria. But they were all lepers. But when they had beheld Iy'ELU, it was when they all began to cry out to Iy'ELU, in their own country's voices, and they all began to cry out to Iy'ELU, and to praise and to lift up the name of with their own voices, asking Iy'ELU to save them. Then they said to Sovereign Master, have mercy on us. And that Elu'hymn, would you please heal us? O please save us. O Iy'ELU, have mercy on us, and would you please heal us from our leprosy? And when saw them, said unto them, Go to the temple, and you go show yourselves to the priests in Samaria. And it came to pass, that as they were on their way to the temple to see the priest, that they were cleansed. But one of them, when he saw that Iy'ELU had healed him, that he came back to acknowledge and to say thanks to Iy'ELU. But the others, they continued on their way to the temple to see the priest in Samaria. But the other man who was cleansed by became extremely grateful to Iy'ELU, when he saw that Elu'hymn had healed him. Then he himself turned around, then he came back to acknowledge and to give thanks to Elu, whom he's also called Iy'ELU and Iy'ELU and Elu'hymn. Then this man he began to give thanks to Elu'hymn Iy'ELU within his strange language, but in a grateful but lauding voice. Then he began to loudly praise and to glorify Iy'ELU, whom he's also Elu'hymn in an audible voice. Then he fell down at the feet of the sovereign Iy'ELU. Then as this man was on his face before Iy'ELU, then he began to worship Elu by acknowledging as Elu'hymn and Iy'ELU and Iy'ELU, and also as the odd, and also as the odd one, and by giving his thanksgiving, and by showing his obedience to Iy'ELU, and by paying his obeisance to Elu'hymn Iy'ELU, as the Holy One, and as the Elu'hymn, and as the odd one. But this man he wasn't a Jew, nor was he a Hebrew, and neither was he a Samaritan. But he was a foreigner. But he was a stranger from a different country. But he wasn't from the country of Syria, nor was he from Syria, nor was he a Samaritan whom is from the city of Samaria. But he was probably from a far-off country, probably from the country of India or China. Then the Jesus Christ turned to his disciples. Then asked them, weren't there 10 men whom were lepers? Weren't they all being cleansed? Then said to them, then why is it that there is only one of them whom have returned to give thanks? Then said to them, but where are the other 9? Then his disciples them turned to answering said to Iy'ELU, Master Sovereign they were 10, but Almighty truly only one of them have returned. But, Sovereign Master isn't it strange that only this man whom is a foreigner have returned to give glory to Iy'ELU? But this man, he isn't even a Jew or a Samaritan, nor is he neither a Hebrew, but he is a foreigner. Then said to the foreigner, Manyu, you arise, and you go back to your own land. And when you go back to your own country, you should go back to your own people. And you go, and you should publish abroad what I, Iy'ELU, have done for you. Manyu, your faith in Iy'ELU, have made you completely whole. Then the foreigner, after he had acknowledged as Iy'ELU, and also as Elu'hymn, he worshipped Elu'hymn, and after he had given his thanksgiving to Elu'hymn, he raised himself up from off the ground, and he left there, and he went on his way. Then after that we learn that Manyu got on board his ship. Then he and the other men who were healed by Iy'ELU, that they also reboard his ship, and then they too went back to their own country. Thank you. The end. To be continued.